So this video is about getting some early upgrades from Caelid, which is the zone over here. It's red. Well, mostly it's here. The Eastern Limgrave map covers part of it. But there's a little thing I want to mention first. If you haven't been to the Round Table hold yet, my character in this video has, but if you do just the stuff I've done in this video, you won't have gotten there yet. So if you haven't gotten to the Round Table hold yet, you can meet an NPC here instead of at the Round Table hold. And he warns you about this village, because there's a boss there. The Sacred Blade, Ash of War, which is, I think I might have, I don't know if I picked that up in the other video. It's right around here, or so. You can find it on the map. It's basically north and across the water. That adds, well, it fires a projectile that does holy damage, and then after the projectile's gone, you have extra holy damage on your weapon for, I think, at least 30 seconds, maybe a minute. It's a fixed amount of damage. Doesn't matter how upgraded your weapon are, how big, little, fast, slow, what level you are. As far as I know, nothing changes it. So early game, it's a pretty good amount of extra damage. And this boss is weak to holy damage. So you might want to take a try at it, because it makes the fight fairly, easy for this kind of game. And what's interesting is that this NPC then will move, and he'll be in the area of the fight. Dialogue is the same as if you talk to him at the Round Table hold. But it's just kind of nifty, and he's the one who tells you about a teleporter that we're going to use. You can use it even if you haven't done that, but he tells you about it and puts a mark on your map. So it's kind of an interesting thing to do before we go into Caelid. So I'm up here at the Smoldering Church. If you approach or exit this church from the front, you get invaded by an NPC. It's very much like when getting invaded by a player. But it's not. It's an NPC. But if you're mounted, you automatically get knocked off your mount, and then a few seconds later they show up. But if you approach along the cliffs, you don't get the invasion. And I'm going to show you a way to get back out also. So you go about here, mount up, hop up, and then you're just going to turn around just by sort of tapping the stick, or I guess if you're using keyboard, it's real easy to not wiggle it the wrong way, and then you can double jump out of here. And since you haven't gone at the front, you're safe. So that's a little trick for you there. Those of you who want to try it, I'm going to show you how to get the Colossal Greatsword, the Guts Greatsword. Right, we're just heading over from Rotview Balcony here, which is an easy walk from there, which is easy from Limgrave. Oh, the other thing I wanted to mention was, notice the ground was red here inside the Smoldering Church. For some reason, that kind of counts as sort of like entering Caelid. Next time you rest at a grace, at any grace, once you've gone this far, you'll be taken to the Round Table hold. So I guess it's just a question of how far you get. You don't actually see the pop-up where it says you have entered Caelid or whatever until you get a little further. But yeah, no, it's just so you're not surprised there. Once you've been into the red, zone, next time you rest at a grace, even if it's not in the red zone, you get taken to Round Table hold. So head over to Rotview, and then this is pretty easy. It's on a carriage on the road, but actually going on the road is, well, towards the end it's more dangerous. So sorry, I'm losing my sense of direction here. Oh, right. So instead of going down the road, you're going to go along the cliff. And it wouldn't really matter here, but a little further down, the road goes downhill. You want to stay on the high ground to avoid those guys. Oh, that one saw me. Well, if you're not as dumb as me, you can, with no aggro, you can get over to the back of the carriage here, grab the great sword, and get out clean. You know, the quickest thing for me to do actually is going to be to let this thing or that thing kill me. Guys, go ahead. I should have probably hopped off the horse. No reason to kill him too, right? Okay, next. Okay, so we're going to use that portal I mentioned. It's by Third Church of America there. We head out basically the north side. Let me just show you first what that Sacred Blade Ash of War is I mentioned. I don't know if I got it yet. I don't remember. Looks like I did, yeah, because there will be a dung beetle right around here. The portal is in the water. I've already been here, so the door's open. You can tag the Grace. If you did that fight and talked to the NPC, like I mentioned, then you'll have business with that guy. Otherwise, well, yeah, let me show you the map. It's a pretty straight shot going down here. There's, let's see, let me at least show you some landmarks. Yeah, basically, you're just following the road. You can see that bridge there. Oh, this thing, by the way, as long as you're leaving, he's fine. If you try to walk back instead of teleporting back, he will probably have an issue with that, I think. So there's a gold seed to get here. This is quick anyway. There's some little dudes here too, so watch out. This is a popular rune farming spot because they're kind of glass cannon. If they hit you, well, you are to them too. You know, if you're low level, they will probably. I'm gonna lose aggro. Probably be able to, one-shot you, depending. But you can sneak up on them, open with a backstab, and so the dragon, you can run under him. He's slow to realize that who you are, what you are, and decide to attack you. By the time he decides to attack, you're long gone. Just sprint through him on the mount. And yeah, I better show you. I don't like, I go to look at the map. Like, it's too hard to see the route with the map there. So we're going across the bridge. Yeah, see that big crash? That was like, I think, the first actual thing he tried to do. We're long gone. Although that thing where he turned around might have hurt us a little. So on the way down here, you can head over towards that tower. There will be a spirit sprint you can use to safely get down the cliff, and you can unlock a grace there. Or I like the music in this game pretty much, but the boss music is way too much louder than the normal music. I don't know what's going to sound like in the recording. I feel like I'm getting drowned out. So we're just hugging the cliff. If you want to risk it, you can try to grab some of these. But I guess if you get close enough to a lightning strike there, it will hurt you. Be careful, though. Well, the reason we're staying on the cliff is because you don't want to mess with this dude. Him. Caelid is the telescope, by the way. That's the one thing I did spend some runes on before starting the video. But otherwise, I didn't upgrade anything, didn't level anything up. Spirit Spring to the rescue again, and you can see that fort in the distance. That's where we're going next. Yeah, it takes a little doing to get to the map for this one. So there's a quicker way, but it's not really, actually. I don't know. It's good to grab these graces along the way. A little efficient. Okay, so by the time you get here, you should be able to see the brown spot in your map. I know it seems pretty far, but I'm pretty sure I had it already. Even because I actually hadn't gone here first. Oh yeah, sure. That's, it's, even here, I don't think this is what did it. I don't think I went there first. If you don't see that the map marker, and it'll probably help. So maybe do go ahead and do that first. Head east a little bit to get it. I don't. That's funny now that I think about it. I guess if you can jump, there's a chasm. I'm not sure you can cross. I know you can jump down from east to west. I don't think you can get west to east though. That would have been the quicker way to get to the map if you can. So you mark it, but we're going to start by going north first. Get on the other side of this thing. Oh, that's got a weird collision map. And from here, heading towards the blue spot is pretty straightforward. There are some opponents around. That was just a shadow. Just watch you don't fall too far anywhere. So the map is up there. I do recommend going this way first. Well, it's a while before you can use the stuff you get down there, I think. I don't remember exactly everything. This is one of those circle of chairs, little ways down there. You can get some stuff there. And there are a couple dragons up here, but they're pretty slow in the uptake. So he's going to try to run in and grab those other shinies yet. He'll be fine. Even if you did try to grab them, you might be fine. There's the map, and while you're already this far along, might as well follow the road to the next grace, right past this, whatever this is. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you cannot get up here. So that is really what we have to go through to get that map. I recommend well, you can get a somber smithing stone, I think 8 up here. The other spot where I said to go to the circle of chairs is a 9 down there. So once you get yourself a 7, 6 and a 7, you're pretty set. 1, 2, 3, and 4 are easy. 8 and 9 are easy. 5 is easy too. It's just 6 and 7 that are a little. Well, they're not that bad. 6 you have to go to Altus, but that auto advances some quests, sort of. One thing you might want to do is unlock the grace up here. There's a vendor. You might want to buy something he sells. Nice to make the trip. The trip is a little dangerous, so you might want to make the trip when you don't have runes, so that you can just teleport back when you do have runes. Alright, so now we go grab the next map, which is down here. Not that following the blue is going to help us much until near the end. So back to Fort Faroth. Oh, and I think there's something else I want to show you here first. Yeah, so there is a really nice talisman in here. Don't expect to live through it. I'm going to use... So it's pretty fast-paced once I get in here, so I'm going to... Oh, you know what? I want to make sure... I think it's a little lighter in there if it's noon. I don't know how... It doesn't look like there's many cracks for the light to get in through, but it does seem to help. It's early day. Yeah, let's go noon. I think it might be a little better. So your best bet is to just run in and grab the item. There's a moment where I'm going to fall down to something, take a few steps, turn around, and summon the wolves. That's I just enjoy trying to get back out without dying. But that actually taking the time to summon them is actually a bit of a risk. So if you want to just be sure you get the talisman and don't care about dying once you do, you can see it from here, but you can't get directly there. You'll see there's a wall, obviously a not very high quality wall in the way, but you can't break it. But that's it. That's the big shiny. So once you start, you're going to keep moving. There's a bat there, but we're going to zip right past him. It helps to approach these stairs a little bit from the right, I find. That way, that bat there that's staring right at the ladder, he's a little slow and he might not poison you. It doesn't matter if he does, though, because you're gonna the poison's not gonna kill you before you get the talisman. Might as well grab this while we're here. You can jump onto that roof to my left. There's no real reason to do it. Hop over this sack, because this ghost that appears there, you stun him a little bit that way instead of him getting in your way. And this is the real tricky part here, is kind of that jump there. And then you want to roll down here before that big rat hits you. And here's where you can summon the wolves if you want to have a chance of getting out. If you want to up your odds of getting to that talisman before you get killed. And so that's what the wolves are for. Sometimes they help. I mean, really, it doesn't help that much because the rat just does these crazy attacks that hit you and all three wolves. And then if you're lucky, you might be able to get past the bat on the way out. And you can lose aggro here. Really, that's just, I've done this a ridiculous number of times to keep myself amused. I try to get out alive, but really don't worry about that. So what this thing, well, first let's just take this off so we can see. I'm going to take all the armor off too. So see, we're at all zeros except since we're standing in the rain, we have 20 extra fire. Let's use the right word here because these are weird. So if you're looking at it's in the menu. Defense versus negation. Defense power, damage negation. Two different numbers. Whereas if you go down here, they're not. One of them is a total. One on the right, which is all zeros now, is what you get from equipment. And confusingly, the one on the left is a total with equipment and what you get from your attributes and other things that increase it. So if we put the seal on, you'll see it's things drop down by an extra 15%. That's not as clear when you have armor on, though, because armor and that penalty, I think, stacks multiplicatively. I can put everything on now, probably. I don't really care that much about light rolling. Yeah, even with the seal, that's medium, that's fine. So I don't know if it would be totally clear that what's happening is 15%. But yeah, you get a penalty. But the thing is that with the increase to your the plus side is that it increases strength, strength, dexterity, endurance, and vigor by 5 each, and that increases your hit points, your total hit points, more than 15%. So you have more what they sometimes call effective HP. If you just look at, how many times do I have to get hit before I die, sort of, it's actually better. You take more damage, but you have more HP. And as long as you're also upgrading your flask potency, your flasks are still going to refill your HP, even if you fill them up from having only one left. Okay. Next map. Right, I have it marked already. We're gonna go. Oh, actually, okay, we can go right towards the map marker. Basically, we're going south until we get to the edge of a cliff, and then follow along. Spirit Spring will be pretty obvious. Use it to get down, and then also use it to jump up on top of that white thing. There's some stuff up there, probably entirely stuff you can't use till later. But you might as well grab it while you're here. We're going to head towards that church. But I want you to notice something on the left here. So I get a little farther down. That sort of that big statue that looks like the peel from a quarter of an orange. See the shiny at the base there? Don't get that one. Save it for later. There is a quest. Once you get to a certain point in someone's side quest, they offer to trade the thing. There's a lot of those statues, and almost all of them have that same thing in there. I think it's called the Starlight Shard. So later you can trade them to someone for stuff. But sometimes that NPC doesn't start offering the trades when they're seemingly supposed to. And I've read that it can help to go pick up one of those Starlight Shards, even if you already have a bunch of them to trade. Whereas if you've picked up everyone you see, you won't be able to trade them until you find. It's like you have to pick one of them up after you get to the right point in the side quest. Apparently that's a glitch that some people have run into. So there will be a Flask Upgrade item in the church here. You can talk to the NPC if you'd like. And in the spirit of getting the map first, glad I remembered, we're going to go west out of here. We're avoiding the front of the church because there's some nasty dudes there. And we're going to go down this way first. We're going to be coming back up here to do something else a little later, but prioritizing getting the map. So as long as you keep moving here, I don't know if it helps to hit the sprint button. It does help for avoiding some attacks while you're mounted. He does a sudden sprint, but I don't know if he slows down a little bit after that so that it doesn't actually get you, traveling anywhere faster. So close to this, there are going to be some more of these tombstone things. Just sort of these things aren't too, well, once they're flying around, they're bad, but get behind them like that, they're not a big deal. Oh, whoops, I wonder if I'm going to be okay. Sometimes even if you tag, there are certain spots you can land on the way down, and then you still die at the bottom. No, we're all right. All right, stay close to the cliff. If you notice, there's a big, I think, giant troll up there. You might have seen him as I was approaching. You want to stay out of his line of sight for a while. It's not much longer than this, though. I think once the cliff forces you out to the side here, you can see, well, once you get about to this tree branch, oh yeah, okay, he just saw us. I tend to jump over this thinking it's going to help for the stuff he throws at us, and there's the grace. He throws giant, basically grenades, except the explosion is blue instead of fire. Alright, and then from here it actually helps to just go a little bit southeast onto the road. You avoid a little bit of aggro compared to if you head straight for the map. And there's our map. A little farther is another golden seed. Oh, you might notice I walked past a vendor there. You can always talk with them along the way if you want. This one I probably picked up already, yep. And then I haven't come that far from the Grace, but I might as well go ahead and get the next one. There's a lot of dogs, though, along the way. Little dogs, big dogs, so keep your eyes peeled. Try to not get too close. This is a good AFK rune farm. As soon as that white one sees you, he howls, the other ones come. And they join this fight. Soldiers versus dogs. You hear the guy, he blew his horn. I've never had them come after me past that wall, though. They just fight amongst each other, amongst themselves. Now, you'll just want to tag that Grace if you want to let that fight happen and get runes without having to do anything. If you rested the Grace, that's how you reset it. If you want to repeat it, you go up and you don't have to bring all the wolves in, but the fight is more even if you do, so more death and more runes. So you can sneak up along the outside. You can use that rock there to hop up to there and get most of the way back up without aggro and get the extra dogs to join the fight again. While they're doing that, you can also up by near that sword sticking out of the ground. There's a the crag. That's where you get the crag blade ash of war from a dung beetle. Try to not knock him down into where the soldiers and dogs are fighting. Come at him so that he's running a different direction. And next on the list. Right, so now back to get the map. Yeah, so from here back up to the Church of the Plague. These things here, by the way, I think are another non-respawning item. Sacramental blood. I'll tell you right away, because if it doesn't come back when you rest at a grace. Yeah, did the stem even just go away? Butterflies do come back, I think. Yeah, I don't even see the stem. Well, anyway, definitely the material doesn't come back, the bud. So it's again avoiding the front door. This time we want to go this way, though. Just keeping it wide. Giving them a wide berth. And once again, we're going along a cliff edge. Now, happens if you go, I think, not too much farther than this, a giant boulder appears. And comes right at you. I'm going to try using this tree to avoid it. Or maybe that gravestone? That's closer. Let's see how this does. I don't know. No, it went right through, so I think it missed me just because I was moving. One thing you can do instead is before you get far enough to trigger it. I don't know how consistently this works, but it also saves you from the next boulder. Ooh, that might. Yeah, okay, that wasn't good. If you get a little, I did it before. I managed to kind of slide down there without dying. I think I was a little further. It might take a couple tries, but I think I got kind of lucky there avoiding the boulder that first time. Some characters can take. Actually, I don't know if the source seal is going to be enough. It does increase my overall survivability, but I'll try this. It annoys me now. I know I slid down there before. It's a little farther along. Yeah, I guess so. If you land on that route, this is probably going to be okay. Yeah, and then that also saves you. Well, keep moving. Going down here. If you dodge that boulder and then use the switchback, come at it from this way, you wind up with a second boulder. So if you slide down there successfully, it's helpful for that reason also. So you rest there to reset those skeletons. And sprint off the corner so you land in the tree, because I think otherwise... Oh, okay, you don't die. It hurts, but you don't die. Alright. Another golden seed. And if you want to, there's not... Yeah, it doesn't really help that much. You can... I'll leave that part out because it's something you might want to just figure out. Don't need to spoil anything. There's other stuff you can do while you're here. I'm just going to go ahead and show you what's next. Yeah, a little more dangerous this zone, so I haven't done any teleporting except to graces I show you how to find. No skipping ahead. So here I got it already. There will be, see that dog that chased us? Right around there will be a summon, Spirit Ash, where you can summon a dog that inflicts Scarlet Rot. And then there's Disgrace. And from here, let's see. I think we want to go out here. I'm going to show you now how to get the cool stuff for Sorcerer at the beginning of the game. This is really why I think doing Sorcery early in the game is probably now the most OP early build. Used to be using Flame of the Redmanes, hands down, but then they gutted that. These are the footprints of an invisible. Was I calling them dung beetles? They call them scarab beetles. They're modeled after real life dung beetles, though. So we're going along the coast of the swamp. I have aggro from something. I can't show you the map, but heading west along the coast. Yeah, it doesn't bother the mount. If we were stepping in this stuff, we get scarlet rot buildup. But if you roll in it, it keeps building up even after you remount or even after you completely leave it. Look out for that, that'll hurt. So these ruins, it's annoying that we're constantly having aggro here. I think the spell is down here. Might be better to go here last, actually, because sometimes you can get trapped. That little bit of aggro I got, sometimes they'll follow you down, and it's be hard to get past them in the tunnel. So that's the rock sling spell. Okay, made it. I had to kind of jump that last guy. Here's some armor. And a perfumer thing. You need that to make certain consumables. It doesn't get used up though. You're just limited to the number you can carry per rest, I think. Has to do with how many of those you find. And there's the meteorite staff. We can go ahead and put that right on, actually. Oh no, I don't have enough. Yeah, you do need 18 intelligence to use it properly. It could still work, but right, yeah, this will be better now. Just while I'm here, I forget what's in here, but these guys I think are not too hard to kill. Gonna do it efficiently with some AoE. Of course, this guy is poisoning me. And there's something right here. What is it? Oh, just a gold rune. I guess to get out of here, keep following the coast. I didn't think ahead about that part, but I know there's some other stuff if you follow along. If you got poisoned or rotted. Wasn't there a grace? Yeah, okay, here you go. Right up here. Once I rest, I'll be able to show you the map. So there's a grace not far from there, so not a big deal if you get poisoned. So that was the ruins. And we just went down the west coast, and there we go. Aeonia Swamp Shore. And how are we doing on time? I guess it's not as much time as the other videos, so I'll show you one little extra thing. It does involve some fighting, though. We've had to do a lot of somewhat tricky avoiding of fights, so I guess it's not a big of a leap to actually do some fighting. So it's called the Impassable Great Bridge. Of course, it's not really. There's a teleporter you can find, actually. I don't know if getting to that teleporter is any easier than this. So there's catapults. And you can bait one to hit that. Sometimes it'll hit you too, though. I think my timing was kind of lucky there. What I usually do... Oh, whoops, yeah, okay, it does go that far. Yeah, so I like that there. It's because I was slowly moving forward, so it was aiming ahead of me, I think. Or maybe the debris caught it. Because the debris was slightly tall. Does that come back? So what I do to bait it is see all these barricades are designed to channel you into the center, and that's bad because there's a lot of splash damage, a lot of AoE. So if those things aim at you in the center, they'll land in the center. If you go off to the side, you get splash damage, unless maybe you jump off the bridge and then double jump back on. So what I do is I start off going diagonally to bait the catapult to the side, and then cross to the other side, and then that one I cross to the other side. Cross again, cross again, and then we're good. Might take a little practice. Luckily, those guys aren't good at aiming ahead. I run back here. I think I might have got this already, but there will be a Smithing Stone 3 right about here. So who would remember to come get that later if you didn't do it while you were in the neighborhood, so to speak. So there's another, not a catapult, but a ballista. So if you go sideways across, it has a hard time hitting you. And then we want to get to this side. That guy is going to jump down at us. So we want to be as close as possible to where we're going next. Yeah, the first time I came here, I got into that platform first and hopped down here. When you land on the platform, it dismounts you. And it took me an embarrassingly long number of attempts to realize that you can mount back up over here, or just never get dismounted in the first place by doing what I did. The thing I don't recommend trying yet is trying to get that, because there are some other things in this graveyard, and they do. I haven't figured out a way to get that without the other guys coming at you. You start spam spells at it, it starts rolling away. Most of them miss it. Some spells and aim, projectiles have a hard time hitting them because they're low to the ground, and projectiles just don't aim properly. Maybe if you free aim, if you're good at free aiming ahead of it where it's rolling, it would be pretty tricky though, I think. So I can sneak past these guys. Oh, watch out! See how I fell slightly off the edge of that? If you fall from something even just a little bit higher than that, I think you come out as sneak. Okay, we're just back to that guy. Although you can just run past him, we're just gonna hop right over. So there are some dudes here with flamethrowers. It helps to get them synchronized. Now there's also some guys down there at that barricade. You don't want to get too close to them. I hop over here and run this way, and that seems to get all their attention close to the same time. One of them, he gets hit by the other guy, and then he decides to come at us. I think it's a little tricky. I don't know. Sometimes the spells don't make it to them. They hit the flamethrowers instead. Depends on your angle. Yeah, they're not really synced up. I've got it to work before, but you can time it. This guy, once you get close enough to bait him out, but be careful. He'll try to hit you, and I have gotten hit through the barricade. And notice he's just standing there now. Really? Wow. Well, this might be a good opportunity. He seems to have forgotten where we are. Otherwise, usually he after he realizes he can't hit you because you're staying far away from the barricade, he comes around. So as he's coming around, if you do a sprint jump, it helps to hold sprint and then press jump and keep holding jump and keep holding sprint. The default button configuration is not good for that. You can get around. Now, the first time you tag the Grace, by the time you're done with the Grace tagging animation, those guys are going to be too close, or just one of them will be too close. So you just take them around the merry-go-round. Once they're both out that door, you're good to just sprint the rest of the way. And now that you've put some distance, you will be able to rest at the Grace. As long as you tag it, you're good, because if they do kill you, you reappear right back here. You can pick up any runes you dropped. One reason I come here is because these guys, I think, are, as far as I know, the best rune farm. Because you get to start hitting them from behind. Melee, pretty easy too. So you get to jump on them. It's a little weird. You can't sneak attack them until they let go of the flamethrower. So it's just a light hit, but then wait a second later, you get the sneak attack. Don't usually get two at once. So, I guess wait till that one gets flame roasted before attacking the other one. Another reason I like to come here early, once you get to a certain point in the game, having to do a certain quest steps, the castle changes. These guys won't be here, but a lot of doors will be locked, including one I'm about to show you. Whoops, you heard me. Also, this boss fight won't be available. A different one will. So nice guard counters are. Even with a short sword, they stance break these guys in one hit. Poise damage doesn't scale at all. Low attributes, unupgraded weapon, same poise damage. The only thing that might change it, would surprise me, is if you don't qualify for the weapon, if you don't have enough strength, dexterity, whatever. I guess it's better if we kill these guys. Oh, well, no, he got distracted by getting hit by fire. Whoops, so did I. Bad timing. Worried about this guy. No, he got totally killed by the next fire blast. Oh, now he's coming out. We are the whiffers. That door ahead is one of the things that gets locked, and that item can be useful for some builds to have before you do the thing that unlocks the door. It's a pretty major boss fight. So yeah, don't worry about him. Just keep running. Don't get close to the wall though. He will attack through the wall, as you can see. And then you got this guy. It doesn't matter if he kills you though. You got what you came for, but guard counters work on him too. Now, a small shield like this won't interrupt every combo. That even a medium shield doesn't interrupt all combos. Might have to do with whether they're doing heavy attacks or how heavy their weapon is. I'm not sure. Great shields are the best at breaking combos. What I've had happen is I've had an attack bounce off my shield. I go to guard counter, but the guy gets off another attack before I can counter and knocks me out of it. So some shields do more pushback when you block than others. So I'm going to leave it here for this video. Let's just check, if we... I don't know if I can actually do another flask upgrade with... Did I even get anything? I think all the ones in this video I had already gotten ahead of time. Yeah, no flask upgrades. Okay. So next video, I don't know if I'm going to post them all at once. I might make this one a little later. I'm going to show you the trick to getting into Liurnia without auto-advancing any quests. Well, I have a separate video for that already. Yeah, I guess the next video will be... I already posted that. I posted it on Reddit, though. Yeah, I guess I'll... Oh, no, I think I did post it here. Yeah. So yeah, I'll link that. I'll put that as part of the same playlist, I guess. And then maybe later I'll make a video about what to go get in Liurnia. At this point, though, you know how to do the maps. You've got a lot of upgrades. Limgrave and Weeping Peninsula should be, pretty easy for a From game. Maybe even like a normal game. God forbid, with all the upgrades and stuff you can get. As far as astrology goes, you've got a nice spell now that does good poise damage. Oh, you don't even start. I forgot that you don't even start with an extra slot. Well, you might have some already. There's been a couple places we've gotten close to where you can get them. One of them is here, and another one is. Oh yeah, the other side of the bridge is here. So there's 2 stones you can get. It's a good spell against bosses. As with the meteorite staff, you need 18 intelligence. 4 projectiles. They each do 9 poise damage, so kind of 36 Flame of the Redmanes was 40 poise damage before it got gutted. So, Flame of the Redmane was famous for how much poise damage it did, so this comes pretty close. Can't spam it as much. It's better at long range, close range. It's awkward at close quarters. You have these 4 big rocks. So if you're in a hallway, 2 of the rocks will crash into the sides. But for certain fights, I at my sorcery playthrough, I use this against almost every boss. It doesn't do as much damage as some other spells you'll get, but for me, it's worth it for the stance break. I wasn't even really going up and critting them much, just to get a breather. When you stance break someone, it's a moment where you can use a potion, or just keep attacking them more, or just mentally catch your breath in some of these fights. So for me, doing pretty frequent stance break, even though I wasn't taking advantage of the opening to crit, was really the most helpful thing compared to what some of the other spells do. Oh yeah, I picked up Night Comet before in Celia. I showed you, for strength build, you can get that Guts Greatsword early. I mentioned in the other video, Bloodhound's Fang is another good one, especially with the somber weapons. Look in that map I've mentioned a few times now. You can find somber smithing stones 4 and 5. Caelid, well, it's only 1 and 2. Yeah, they have to go to Limgrave for 3, so that's something I should probably cover. But that will be in the next one. Thank you for watching.